We locked chapter 12. We're moving on now to the perfect active system. And in that system, we have three tenses: the perfect tense, the pluperfect tense, and the future perfect tense. So the perfect tense is, in English, we do that as I have eaten. In Latin, we'll often just translate with what we call in the English the simple past, I ate. The pluperfect, I had eaten. Yesterday by noon, I had eaten. And the future perfect, tomorrow by noon, I will have eaten. So there's your perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect. The good news about these tenses is that the endings are the same for all conjugations. So unlike the present, imperfect, and future, which you really had to know, man, is that a first conjugation verb? Is that a third conjugation verb? The second conjugation, present, looks a lot like the third conjugation, future. So you've really got to know your conjugations and you encounter them. When you come across the endings for the perfect, pluperfect, or future tenses, you'll be able to recognize them right away, no matter the conjugation. So that's nice. But you must know the perfect stem, which is found by dropping the I, the E, so it's long. I should make that long, which means I'm going to have to turn on my other keyboard. The E from the third principal part. So here are the principal parts of laudo. Laudo, laudare, laudavi, laudatum. And so this is the perfect stem for the first conjugation. It's the first conjugation stem that you get from dropping off the RE from the infinitive, and then you'll add the endings. First you'll add a V that marks the perfect tense in the perfect system in the first conjugation. That's another way to tip off that you're dealing with a perfect. And then the series of endings we'll look at in a moment. But even an irregular verb, like sum. So sum, I am, essa, to be, fui, I was, I have been. So the stem for the future is fu, for the verb to be. So many of these perfect stems are irregular, especially in the third conjugation. So we've already seen this. Ago, agera, agi, actum. And another one, duco, ducera, duxi, ductum. So, we can get very irregular looking third principal parts, irregular looking perfects. So you do need to continue, obviously, to learn your verbs in all principal parts. But let's take a look at what the future, or what the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect look like. The endings for the perfect are e, isti, it, imus, istis, erunt. And that's the same in the first conjugation, the second conjugation, third conjugation, fourth conjugation. Always e, isti, it, imus, istis, erunt. And you're always adding those endings onto the perfect stem. So here in the fourth conjugation, you need to know that the principal parts of audio are audio, audire, audivi, auditum. Third principal part, audivi, that's that audiv, that's your stem, and you're going to add e, isti, it, imus, istis, erunt. Future, or rather the pluperfect, is just the perfect stem plus the imperfect form of the verb to be. Eram, eras, eret, eramus, eratus, erant. So it's going to be audiverem, audiverus, audiverit, audiveramus, audiveratus, audiverent. Likewise, in the perfect of the first conjugation, amawarem, amawaras, amawarat, amawaramus, amawaratus, amawarant. Second conjugation, you use its third principal part is monoi. Right here, monoi. So you use that stem, and then you add aram, eras, eramus, eratus, errant. So manuerum, manueras, manuerat, manueramus, manueratus, manuerant. And the future perfect, you add the perfect forms of the verb to be. Ero, eris, erat, eramus, eratus, errant. So manuero, manueris, manuerit, manueramus, manueratus, manuerant. Manuerant, sorry. So, piece of cake, forming the perfect system. You need to remember, though, how it's put together. So you got the perfect stem, and then the perfect endings, e, isti, it, imus, istis, erant. The pluperfect, you use the perfect stem, plus the imperfect forms of to be. For the future perfect, use the perfect stem plus the future forms of the verb to be. So really quite straightforward. Quite straightforward indeed. All right. So you need to make charts, make yourself flashcards rather of the forms of the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect. And then also your vocabulary. And vocabulary is straightforward and pretty short this week as well, because we're really working on 3 tenses all at once. We want to learn those very well. So learn your forms, learn your vocabulary, take some time on that, and then when you have got those under your belt a bit, you can work on these 2 sentences from page 101, number 7 and number 10, and then you can come to the next video and we will go through those translations.